Hello friends, welcome back to the Python programming session. In the earlier session, we had seen how we can merge two pandas data frames. And in this session, let's see how we can work on missing data. So sometimes we have an Excel sheet or a CSV file and we export it into the data frame. The Excel sheet or CSV file sometimes may have data missing in it. So when we export it to a data frame, the missing values will be converted into NaN values. NaN means not a number. So in this session, let's see how we can use dropna function to handle missing data. We can drop rows or columns with NaN values in different ways. So the syntax for the drop method or function is df.dropna. Parameters are access, how, thresh, subset, and in place. Access is by default, access will be 0, how will be any, thresh will be none, subset will be none, in place will be false. So suppose my access is 0 means it stands for row, 1 means it stands for columns. How is equal to any or all? It can be any or all. Any means any one value is NaN, then that row or column will be dropped or deleted. All means when all the values in a row or a column is NaN, then only it will be dropped. So based on our requirement, we can use any or all. Thresh is equal to n. N is an integer. This specifies how many non-NaNs are there. There should be at least n non-NaNs so that the row or column does not get deleted. We'll look into it practically. Subset means it limits the dropping process to past rows or columns in the list. Even this, let's look into it practically. In place, if we give it as true, then the original data frame itself gets changed. By default, in place will be false. If we make it true, the original data frame gets changed. Now let's look into it practically. So firstly, let me show you my Excel file. So let me show you my Excel file which is having sorry. So let me show you my Excel file which is having some missing data. So here some data is missing, here data is missing, here also data is missing. So my Excel sheet has got some missing data. So now if I read Excel, do a read Excel and convert it into export the details of the Excel sheet to the data frame, then the missing data will be given as NaN in the data frame. So let's look into it practically. Let me close this file. So firstly, let me say import pandas as PD. df is equal to pd dot read underscore excel, and I have to give the path where it is present d:// missing dot xlsx. Now let me say print df. So it will be converted into a data frame, and wherever we had null values, so here for Sam, okay, for Sam age is null. So in my data frame for Sam under age, it has given NaN. So all the missing details in the Excel sheet when we export it to a data frame will be represented as NaN. So all these NaNs are nothing but the missing data in the Excel sheet, that is missing.xlsx. So now I've got my DF which has got some NaN values. Now let's apply the drop function on this to see how it works. Firstly, let us say df.drop Na axis is 0, how is equal to any. So df dot drop Na function axis is equal to 0, comma, how is equal to any. So now when I run the code, I get the following output. So axis is equal to 0 means rows. How is equal to any? So in any of the rows, in the first row, that is 0th index, none of the values are NaN. So the row gets printed. Now let's move on to the second row, that is first index, Sham, and then there is an NaN value. So even if the row has one NaN value, that row will be dropped out. Axis means 0. Axis 0 means it considers the rows, not the columns. It considers row wise. And how means any. So any one value is NaN, that particular row will get deleted. Here Sam also has got deleted because NaN is present. Girish has been deleted, NaN. Mahesh has not been deleted because there is no NaN value in it. Similarly, Kavita has no NaN value, so it has been retained. Sunita also has no NaN value, so it has been retained. So any one of the value in the row is NaN, that row gets dropped out. Now let's move on to the second example. Axis is equal to 1, comma, how is equal to any. Axis is equal to 1 stands for columns. So here in the columns, only employee name is the only column which does not have any NaN values. All other columns has at least one NaN values. So these three columns, that is age, year of joining, salary, get deleted, but employee name is retained because none of the values are NaN. So we got the output that employee name is the only column which has all the data. There is no NaN value in this particular column. Now let's move on to the third example. For this, let me say df1 is equal to pd dot read underscore c excel. For this, let me import another Excel sheet, that is d colon slash missing one dot xlsx. Now let me print df1 and run the code. So I got my output in this particular format. So now let's move on to the third method. Third one, that is drop NA. Axis is 0. How is equal to all? We saw any. Now let's see how all works in drop NA. df1 dot drop NA axis is equal to 0, comma, how is equal to all. So here axis is equal to 0. It stands for row. 0 means row. So we have to consider the rows in the data frame. How is equal to all? So in any of the rows, if all the values are none, then that row will get deleted. In any, we saw that if any one value is none, it got deleted. But over here, what we are seeing is if all the values are none, that because we have given how is equal to all. So only when all the values in the row are none, NaN, then that particular row will get dropped out. So the 11th row should get dropped out according to our input. So the 11th row has got dropped out because it has got all NaN values. Now for the same thing, let's move on to the fourth example, that is df1 dot drop Na. Axis I will give it as 1. So we have to consider the column, comma, how is equal to all. Now when I run the code, I don't get age column because in the age column all the values are NaN. So all the values are NaN in the age column. So the age column gets dropped. So this is how we can remove the missing data, rows or columns in pandas with the help of drop Na. And now we saw 4 of the methods, and the fifth example is df of drop Na access is 0, how is equal to any, and thresh is equal to 4. So df dot drop Na access is equal to 0, comma, how is equal to any, comma, thresh is equal to 4. So what happens in this particular scenario? We got only 4 rows. Thresh is equal to 4 means threshold values, that is at least 4 non-NaN values should be present in the row. Axis is equal to 0 means row. How is equal to any means if any one of the row is any means if any one of them is NaN, it will get dropped out. But here we are given thresh is equal to 4. So at least 4 non-NaN values should be there. Here 4 non-NaN values are there. So it has not got dropped out. So if it is 3, it gets dropped out. If it is 2, it gets dropped out. So let us see the data frame. Here all the 4 are non-NaN, so it has been retained. Here only 3 are non-NaN. So at least 4 it should have. Since it is having 3 values as non-NaN, this row has been dropped out. Similarly, this also has dropped out because only 3 of them are non-NaN. And here, 11th row, all the 4 are non-NaN. So it has been retained. So thresh is equal to 4 means how many that number of non-NaN values should be present in the row. And now let's move on to the sixth example. Drop Na access is equal to 0, how is equal to any, and subset equal to year of joining and salary. So df dot drop Na access is equal to 0, comma, how is equal to any, comma, subset equal to yoj, comma, salary. So we got this particular output. So subset is equal to YOJ salary. So it will consider only YOJ and salary. And in YOJ and salary, if any null value, if NaN values are present, any of them has got an NaN in the rows, then it will get deleted. So over here, it is considering YOJ and salary. So in salary, NAN is present for Sham, so it gets deleted. In YOJ, NAN is present for Girish. Sham, Girish have been deleted. So Sham, Girish have been deleted. And there are some other rows in which YOJ and salary are NN. So for salary and YOJ, Sham gets deleted, Girish gets deleted, Diya gets deleted, Sia gets deleted, Savita gets deleted, and Sushila gets deleted. And the remaining rows will be printed. It won't check for NAN in age or employee name. It will check for NAN only in YOJ and salary because we are given subset equal to YOJ and salary. So if it NAN presents in YOJ or salary, that particular row gets dropped out. Now, if I say print DF, even though this is I've dropped, if I say print DF, the original data frame will print as it is. Now, if I want to make reflect the changes in my original data frame. So suppose let me copy this and if I give in place is equal to true, then my original data frame also gets changed. Now if I say print df, then I get my changed original data frame. So if I want to make modifications to my original data frame, I have to give in place is equal to true. So friends, we saw how access, how thresh, subset and in place works in pandas with the help of drop NA. In the drop NA, how it works in pandas. So in today's session, we saw how we can drop the row and with any one of them as an NaN value, how we can drop a column with any one as an NaN value, how we can drop the row with all NaN values, X column with all NaN values. When we give thresh is equal to 4, at least 4 non-NaN values should be present in the row for it to be retained, otherwise it will get deleted. And if we give subset, it will search for NaN values only in YOJ or salary and salary columns or salary columns. If it is present, then those rows will get deleted because we have considered access is equal to 0. So hope so friends, it was clear for you. If you have any doubts, please do reach to me out in the comment section. If you like my video, click on the like button and please do subscribe to get notifications of my new videos. Till then, see you. Bye bye.